Hello everyone, it's Annie and I'm here today with my January TBR, finally. So this January I am really feeling high epic fantasies for some reason. So I have quite a few epic fantasies on here, but I do also have some contemporary romances, some more interesting stuff, a little horror-ish maybe, so stick around and let's see what I'm going to read in January. So first we have The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, and I'm smiling because I've actually already started this because I'm filming this video a little bit late, and I love it so far. Spoiler alert, I love it. So this is an epic fantasy. This is the first in a trilogy. The Faithless, the second one, is coming out this March actually, which I am so excited and probably gonna pre-order, let's be honest. So this follows two main characters. One is Terrain, who's on the cover, and she's amazing, and she's buff, and she is everything we could ever want. And then there is Luca, who is the princess. So Terrain is a soldier, like you might be able to tell. She was stolen as a child and raised to kill for the Empire. And now her company has been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and the ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. So she is part of this group of people who this empire has been oppressing and basically trying to conquer. And she was taken as a child from them, raised in the empire as a soldier, and now she's going back to stop their rebellion of her people. And obviously there are feelings that are going to come from this, but Princess Luca needs a turncoat, someone desperate enough to tiptoe the bayonet's edge between treason and orders, someone who can sway the rebels towards peace while Luca focuses on what really matters, getting her uncle off the throne. So that's her motivation, and of course this is part of the Sapphic trifecta, so this is Sapphic, and it's so good. I'm very excited to finish this. Next, we have a contemporary romance, Ashton Parker Doesn't Fail, by Ashley Herring Blake. And of course, this is the sequel to Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which I absolutely loved last year. This follows Astrid, who was a side character, I guess you could call her, in Delilah Green Doesn't Care. She is Delilah's stepsister, and here she gets her own little sapphic romance. I'm not going to spoil the first book, but she was a bit more than a side character. She was a big character in the first book, and her relationship is basically a big plot of the first book, so I don't want to give it away, but here she is maybe in a new relationship, and it's going to be a sapphic one, because I mean, look at these, look at this buff contractor, very nice. So apparently you can tell by the cover, Astrid is an interior designer and she's going on this competition show like HGTV does, and she gets paired with this contractor, and I guess romance ensues, so I'm very excited to start this. So next, one that has been on my highly anticipated list from last year is Genesis of Misery by Neon Young. I loved their other series, the Protectorate series, the Tenstorate series, sorry, that I absolutely adored, that series of novellas. And this sounds like something that I would absolutely love. Even though it hasn't been getting that great reviews, I think it sounds extremely up my alley. This is a space opera queer retelling of Joan of Arc. I mean, that's pretty much exactly my type of story. So this is the story of Misery Nomaki, a nobody from a nowhere mining planet who possesses the rare stone-working powers of a saint. Unfortunately, these saint-like abilities also manifest in those succumbing to void madness, like that which killed Misery's mother. Knowing they aren't a saint, but praying they aren't void mad, Misery keeps quiet about their power for years while dreaming up ways off their forge-forsaken planet. There's just a lot of world building in that first paragraph already, which I love. But then the voice of an angel or a very convincing delusion leads Misery to the center of the empire. And they find themselves trapped between two powerful and dangerous factions, each hoping to use misery to win a terrible war. Still waiting to be convinced of their own divinity and secretly training with a crew of outcasts, Misery grows close to a rebel royal, Lady Elodia Lightning, who may know something of saints and prophecy herself. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean, this cover is amazing. The synopsis just gets me very excited. It seems very unique, so I am really excited to give this a try. Okay, so then we're kind of pivoting into a historical horror-ish, so this is very interesting. This is the January pick for my Sapphic book club. If you haven't heard about it, definitely check out my announcement video. I am so excited. We are reading briefly A Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. I love this, and we're reading this because Books and Lala's Buzzwordathon word for January is life and death. So this will definitely fit. If you were looking for a book for that, definitely join us. So this is in 1473, so it is historical. There is a 14-year-old named Blanca who dies in a hilltop monastery in Majorca. But nearly 400 years later, when George Sand, her 2 children, and her lover, Frederic Chopin, arrive in the village, Blanca is still there, a spirited, funny ghost who's been hanging around the monastery since her accidental death. Blanca is enchanted the moment she sees George, and the magical novel unfolds as a story of deeply felt, unrequited longing, a ghost pining for a woman who can't see her and doesn't know she exists. Yeah, so this sounds like it's going to be very sad. I'm really intrigued by the fact that this is about Chopin and his wife/lover. Sounds very interesting, very unique, and I'm excited to read it with all of you. So now we are pivoting once again to a YA fantasy with Legendborn, which I am very excited to be finally reading. I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm really excited about it. And this is a kind of retelling of the Arthurian legend, I believe. So I am also reading it for either the Read Harder challenge or the Pop Sugar challenge. I can't remember right now which one has that prompt, but I am very excited. So this is about 16-year-old Bree Matthews, who after her mom dies in an accident wants nothing to do with her family or childhood home. A residential program for bright high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill seems like the perfect escape until she witnesses a magical attack on her first night on campus, a flying demon feeding on human energies, a secret society of so-called Legendborn students that hunt the creatures down, and a mysterious teenage mage who calls himself a Merlin and who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memory of what she saw. The mage's failure unlocks Bree's own unique magic and a buried memory with a hidden connection. The night her mother died, another Merlin was at the hospital. Now that Bree knows that there's more to her mother's death, she'll do whatever it takes to find out the truth, even if it means infiltrating the Legendborn as one of their initiates. So this sounds awesome. It has super high ratings, extremely popular, so I am really excited to dive into this one. So now we have a classic that I've been meaning to read for literal years. It is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I'm pretty sure most people know what this is about. This is about Rebecca, who is Maxime de Winter's shy new bride, who goes to his beautiful Manderley estate, and it is haunted by the ghost of his former wife. And what happened to that former wife, and why is she a ghost? So that is pretty much all I know about the story. I have read quite a few books inspired by or even retelling Rebecca, so that's what I'm familiar with, but I've never actually read the original source material, so I feel like I really should. Like, it's time for me to do that. So we're gonna give it a go in January. It is quite long, but I'm gonna try my best. And lastly, another very long book, Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chupeco. I am really excited about this book. I just love the sound of it, and it is long. It's over 500 pages, but you know what? It's okay. This follows Remy Pendergast, who is the only son of the Duke, an elite bounty hunter of rogue vampires, and an outcast among his fellow Reapers. His mother was the subject of gossip even before she eloped with a vampire, giving rise to rumors that Remy is half vampire himself. Ooh, I love stuff like that. Okay. When a terrifying new breed of vampire is sighted outside of the city, Remy prepares to investigate alone. But then he encounters the shockingly warm-hearted vampire heiress Xiao Dansong and her infuriatingly arrogant fiancé, Zidan, who may hold the key to defeating the creatures, though he knows associating with them won't do his reputation any good. When he's offered a spot alongside them to find the truth about the mutating virus that's plaguing the kingdom, Remy faces a choice, one he's certain he'll regret. Yeah, I love this. It's also queer, and it just sounds super unique, and there's a little bit of Blade Runner vibes going on, and I love that. So I am very excited about this, and it'll be my first Rinch Peko book, so I'm glad about that too. So surprisingly, that is actually it for this TBR, because most of these books are extremely long. The Unbroken, Rebecca, Silver Under Nightfall, The Genesis of Misery, they're all quite long, like 400, 500 pages. So I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a break in January. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos. And if you've read any of these books, definitely let me know what your thoughts were in the comments below. Tell me what you're going to read in January, and I'll be back really soon. See you next time. Bye!